everybody. Welcome to another sensational session of Strike a Chord Live podcast with my dear brother, Collin Harbour. He's right there in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Marcus Ellis. I'm here in Pensacola, Florida. Collin, why don't you tell him who we are?
We are two lifelong friends with a love of baseball, music, motivation, and inspiration mixed with a little bit of nostalgia, culture, transformation, and fun. And we want you to take the journey with us.
This is Strike a Chord Live podcast. Good morning, bro.
Good morning. It seems like that went over well. Seems like that was good.
Yeah, that like a Swiss watch, like I like to say. But good morning, everybody. Welcome to another sensational session of Strike a Chord Live podcast. I had recorded that because it's hard for me to say, but I'm now like, it's just flowing, Collin. So we appreciate you guys being here. Today is May 12th. It's Mother's Day week. It's Mother's Day weekend. So, gentlemen, this is your reminder right now. Right now, Mother's Day is Sunday. And ladies, happy Mother's Day week and weekend. We can't do it without you. We love you to life. And that's all I got to say about that, Collin.
Yeah, no, that is great. It's Mother's Day weekend, and we have a soccer tournament. So my wife and all the moms on the team said it must have been a male who organized this soccer tournament.
I will buy into that. I will
for
subscribe.
The weekend of Mother's Day.
Real quick, my dear sister Angela Beller is here. I love you, Angela. I am going to be recording a podcast with Angela on the 20th. So in 8 days, happy Mother's Day, early Mother's Day, Angela. I love you. Yeah, man, that's funny. So does your wife live for the soccer tournaments?
I mean, we like the soccer tournaments. I don't know that she lives for the soccer tournaments.
Some mothers do live for the sports their kids play. So
yeah. Well, I
know my mom did. My mom, I mean, your mom did too. She was at every game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's really cool. Well, we do want to acknowledge everybody that's watching this on the replay or listening to this on the replay. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for being here. I like to say it like the kids say, the hashtag replay. So if you are watching this on some digital medium such as Facebook or YouTube, please drop a hashtag replay in there for us. And then, Collin, let's do this thing. We haven't done this in a while, but we still need subscribers on our YouTube page.
Oh yeah.
So please
we've got to get back to work on getting the videos out there and stuff, but yeah.
So the last session, man, you said something that immediately struck a chord with me, and I was like, oh, write this down. and we didn't write it down. So I went back, and something I never do, I went back and watched our last episode, and I was cracking. I was in bed, and Laura was next to me, and I was shaking. She's like, what are you laughing at? And I was like, I'm laughing at Collin and myself. We're pretty funny.
We are.
And then she said, you're a dork. So, that's part of it. But I had to go back because you had an awesome quote, Mr. Quotator himself. Mm-hmm. You had a quote during the session, and you said, sometimes things are right in front of us, and we overlook them. And that was like, boom. I mean, that happens. I mean, that's in life. That's in business. That's in our relationships. We were talking about the parable that I really didn't know that the parable was either called the drowning man or two boats and a helicopter. Mm-hmm. We were talking about that. And that's what happened. And if you've never heard, I'm sure everybody on here's heard it. But real quick, there was this guy, and he was on a rooftop during a flood, and he was praying to God for help. Dear Lord, please save me. And about that time, a man came by and rowboat said, jump in, I can save you. And the guy's like, nah, dude, I'm cool. God's got me, right? Then a motorboat came by, and the guy's like, come on, bro, the water's rising, jump in. He's like, no, I'm good. God's got me. And then finally, God sent a helicopter, right? And the guy denied the helicopter, and so the guy drowned. He went to heaven because he was a good man. And then he was like, God, what's up? I prayed to you for help. And God's like, bro, I sent you a rowboat. I sent you a motorboat. I sent you a helicopter, and you didn't jump in, right? And that parable that we were talking about in the last session, that really struck a chord with me when you made that quote. So I started, going down the rabbit hole on that type of thing. and we came up with a scientific term for not seeing the forest through the trees, right?
Yeah, because you wonder, like, if of the 5,000 people listening to us right now, like what percentage of them know that condition or that theory that we're about to say, that it's actually there's a name for it. I
Say
didn't.
it.
Huh?
Say it.
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Inattentional blindness.
Inattentional blindness. How
Not
many of
unintentional blindness, not attentional blindness, inattentional blindness. Look it
how
up.
many of us are walking through life and not paying attention to the goodness that God has provided that's right in front of us? How many of us are doing that? I'd say I mean, man, I'm guilty. I'm guilty for sure.
Some people call it distracted. It's different than being distracted though, but it's kind of tied into being distracted a little bit, you know?
Yeah, no, I really think that I don't think it's distraction at all. We get in our heads and we start looking for this thing, and we're seeking this thing over here. I'm still having trouble with the backwards camera thing, so I want to put my hand on the screen. We're seeking this thing, right? But God's got another plan for us. There's something else out there that's greater than us, right? And we don't pay attention to what's going on. So Angela says the battle of the mind. Ooh, that's so good. And so, like an example is there's the phenomenon of inattentional blindness. I have to be careful there. That there is a vast variety of people. Let's say they need some money, right? They don't have provision in their minds. And they walk past a money tree, and instead of leaves on this tree, it's money everywhere. They see the tree, but they don't see the money on the leaves, and they're just like, "Oh, woe is me, I need," and they walk right past it. How many times have we walked right past that thing that's been provided for us simply because we thought we needed something else?
Yeah, that's a great point. And a lot of people struggle with this, right? If you say, well, God is calling me to do such and such, or I'm being led to do something else. I'm being led to do something else. But a lot of times that will cause you to prevent you from seeing what's right in front of you right now, or really what you maybe want to do. And it's not a trick of the mind necessarily. It's not, whatever. There's all these different factors that it was fascinating reading about it, quite frankly. I'm going to read
Yeah,
up more about it later. Keep reading about it, I should say. But yeah, sometimes it's just right in front of you, right? Sometimes it's right in front of you. And then a lot of times we don't want to admit it. We don't want to accept it, right? We don't want to accept it. Maybe something is right in front of you. It's very clear, but you don't want to accept it.
yeah, man, I'm guilty. I mean, and Summer Star says, "Good morning, Summer. We love you. Good to see you, Angela. If I didn't tell you I love you, you know I love you to life dearly." Yeah, man, I'm guilty. Right? This has happened so many times where, for me, it's probably to do with provision. Let's just talk about provision. Because both you and I are entrepreneurs. We're solopreneurs. Um, a lot of times, I will get in my head. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm only to this level now. And my wife, she's just like, good grief, Mark. She's like, you say we only have this? Last year, that would have been ginormous. And now, why don't you turn it around and say, man, look at what we have, right? It's that mind shift. It's like Bruce Pulver said, that shift. Bruce is here. Good morning, Bruce. I love you. I was on Bruce's, we recorded a podcast yesterday for Bruce and Heather Carter, who both have been guests on here. And his podcast is May I Have a Word with You? And we unpacked a word yesterday. It was such a great session. I didn't want it to end. But Bruce says, live with intention so it can live without tension. I don't know how he did. Talk about a gift from God, man. Bruce can just, Anthony Hart and Bruce Pulver can really just flip a script. And that's why I hang out with them, because I'm not good at that. Good morning, Ryan Little. I love you. But yeah, so there's many times where we're looking at, a half empty cup when our cup is half full, man. Or we're looking for a relationship, right? Terrence Elmore's in the house. I love you, Terrence. Man, I got to check out. Hey, Terrence, would you drop your YouTube page for your barbecue YouTube page in the comments? Because we want to see that. Love you, bro. Terrence was a phenomenal guest. We're going to have him on again. But yeah, man, if it's a relationship, you know, it reminds me of that Crosby, Stills and Nash song. You know, if you can't be with the one you love the one you live with.
Mhm.
You know, it's like that person is sitting there right next to you, and you don't even realize it. You're like, I'm so lonely, and they're right there. You
Mhm.
know, or go ahead, man.
Well, I was
I'm
going to read this definition of inattentional blindness, or I don't know if this is technically the definition, but it's in Wikipedia. But because I want to point out something on this. Inattentional blindness or perceptual blindness occurs when an individual fails to perceive an unexpected stimulus in plain sight, purely as a result of a lack of attention rather than any vision defects or deficits.
Ooh.
So it's not really about you can't see, right? It's not about the vision. It's not about it's literally purely about lack of attention, right? Lack of focus, lack
Yeah.
of honing in, as my dad would say, honing in on things.
Well, since you mentioned your dad, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper than that. You know what? You know what it is? It's a lack of faith. It's a
Yeah.
lack of faith. If we're talking about provision or loneliness, or you're looking for that next big thing, that job you're looking for, something like that. Man, it's lack of faith. Take your hands off the wheel, man. Let it go. Right? So we could get really deep in that. Terrence did drop his, I love that, T-Dub-Barbecue. Terrence did drop his YouTube link in there. We love him. We love promoting him. So go check out that barbecue page and follow Terrence Elmore. He's my favorite poet on the planet. Doug Stutzman and Terrence, by the way, it was Doug's birthday. Love you, Doug. Happy birthday. So we're just going to drop names all over. And people who don't know us listen to this and like, golly, who are these people they're talking about? They're our family, yo. So they're our family. But that thing that you're wanting, that thing you desire, it's right there. All you have to do is reach right out and grab that thing, right? If it's love, it's there waiting for you. Reach out and grab it. Yeah, Angela, please drop everything you got. Hey, if you want something promoted on Strike the Chord Live podcast, drop it in the comments, please.
You don't
And
even have to pay us
this
for
one.
it yet. You don't even have to pay us for it yet for the promotion yet.
But yeah, I really love what Bruce said. It's the intention versus the tension. Let's talk about it in a business sense, right? So I've been part of an organization, to me, that I left. I hope they've figured it out, but they were mired. Just bogged down in analysis paralysis. Just over analyzing everything to death, to where it ran the company into the ground, right? So let's talk about it in business. If the organization can't see the big picture, Collin, because they focus too much on the details, what happens? The wheels grind to a halt, right? So let's take it from a painter's aspect, like a house painter. It'd be like somebody needing to paint a house, but they're spending half the day on picking the color. We just get the job done in the house. So in business, we overlook some of the most simple solutions, the most simple answers that are right in front of us, because we think we're seeking something else, something bigger for that project.
Are you saying that we can't see the forest for the trees sometimes?
Collin froze.
Oh, did I?
Okay, I'm back. We lost Collin. There he is. I don't know what happened. That's the first time that's happened since I've moved to this new house.
Yeah. Did you freeze too? You froze for me.
Yeah, you froze when you were right about to make your comment.
I think I said something very insightful.
I know you did.
It's the best thing I've ever said.
I know it was the best thing that you ever said.
What I said was, are you saying they can't see the forest for the trees?
That's what I'm saying. And that can be business, that can be relationships, that can be life.
Absolutely. And I just read the other day, or I've been thinking a lot about this concept. Someone said on LinkedIn, done is better than perfect.
I'm gonna go one more step for that. I love that. Why don't we strive for excellence instead of perfection? You're not perfect, baby. It ain't going to be perfect. There's only one perfect person on the planet, and that was Jesus Christ. So why don't you strive for excellence versus perfection? I love what you just said. See, this is why we call this strike a chord, because we just vibe off each other. We say these things, and it strikes a chord with you, and then you just go. I love that. That's why I like
it. Might sound better said completed or finished is better than perfect. And it really goes to that, hey, sometimes we just sit around and come up with all these sometimes it's because people like to pontificate. They like to just talk. They like to just let everybody know that they know stuff. But a lot of times we're just so worried about perfection. Yeah, not excellence, not a finished product, and I don't even mean it in the business sense of a product, just a finished task, a completed chore,
right.
Because maybe the shirts, we want to fold them exactly right. Sometimes the shirts just need to be folded.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I do that all the time, right? Let's I was moving into this home, and I was like, I can't do this until this is done, and that wasn't true. That was just how I felt about it. That was my mind, right? Angela Beller says, are you willing to take imperfect action to have your dreams? Bam. Terrence says he was a part of an organization like that. They didn't value exactly. This is what I experienced, Terrence. They didn't value who they had and end up pushing away all their good people. That happened to me. Now, I will admit, I was the freak in the room. I had my tattoos. I was the only rock and roll guy in a music business, go figure. But yeah, man, we've all gone through it. And what's cool about this topic is we can go down many different avenues. It forks off into many different things. The takeaway, folks, is stop, slow down, be quiet. God can't talk to you if you're talking, right?
If you're pontificating.
I love that word, man, pontification. I love that. Be quiet, listen to the download, stop for a second and just breathe. And man, the solution will come. The solution will come. So man, this is great so far, man. I'm really I'm
not only will the solution come, I think what the inattentive theory would say, it's right in front of you anyway.
Right there, yeah.
Right there. The answer is, you already have the answer, probably. It's been right in front of you. It might have been right in front of you for a long time. You just don't see it.
Yeah. How can one see it? You have to slow down. Like Angela said, the solution is already there. She just said it. She's repeating you, Collin. That's so good. It's already there. I don't know if I used to live in Santa Cruz, California, and they have the oldest surviving wooden merry-go-round in existence. It may be the oldest wooden roller coaster, but there is a merry-go-round, old school merry-go-round, and they have the hook with the brass ring. You ever seen that? And you have to grab the brass ring, and you win on the merry-go-round. It's the same thing in life, baby. The brass ring's just sitting there waiting on the hook for you. It's up to you to see that it's there and grab it. But the only way you're going to be able to do that is stop spinning on that merry-go-round. Get off of it, right? And I'm talking to myself because my mind, man, we were talking about the movie Being John Malkovich the other day. I had some friends and stuff like that, being in somebody else's mind. I was speaking with a dear sister in Christ, Coral, and we were talking about, man, nobody would want to live in this head because it's just right. And so we have to slow down and pay attention. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you a question. Did you just punch your desk or something about 2 minutes ago?
I actually kicked it underneath and it shook. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Just making sure it wasn't just me.
No.
Made a noise and shook.
I was trying. I mean, Collin, I was trying to just let it go, just like it didn't happen. But I mean, you noticed. You're very perceptive today.
It was pretty obvious.
Yeah, I kicked my desk. I need a new desk.
Okay.
This was too small. It's too rickety, but it's what I got right now. So Angela says it's acceptance too, right? We may not want the answer that's given. Let's go down that trail.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's not what that goes back to the Crosby, Stills, and Nash. If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. It's not up to us. It's not our choice, right?
Yeah, I think that's in this whole article that I just read. It'll take me too long to find it, but yeah.
All right. So I love that. Let's do a quote, right?
Let's do a quote. You do a quote.
This is from Suzanne Colasanti. I don't know who she is, but we're going to quote her anyways. She said, maybe it's just too hard to see what's right in front of you when you're frantically searching for it. And that's the mic drop moment, right? We are all so, and my dear sister Tamara Andrus taught me not to use this word, taught everybody not to use the word busy. And then another sister, Joy Farley, I heard her say one time, don't say busy, say you're heavily booked and blessed. And I stole that. Hashtag stolen. So I'm heavily booked and blessed.
Why would you not say busy? Because like everybody's busy? Is it though? Like I always hate it when someone tells me they're busy and I'm like, well, yeah, man.
Because it's overused, it's Stairway to Heaven, right? Do you ever want to hear Stairway to Heaven again? I don't, but I have to play it. But
like, you never want to hear it again.
Oh my gosh. I've just heard it so many. There's a few songs but I still have to perform the song. I have to perform the song actually coming up in our next show. But yeah, I digress. When we're just a hamster on a wheel, and I'm talking to myself because I'm that guy, right? When you're a hamster on a wheel, you're busy, right? Busy can be a bunch of things. Busy is an excuse. Busy is an off-ramp to doing the things that that you could always do, right? Oh, I can't get to that because I'm busy. No, that's a bunch of bunk. Nobody's too busy to accomplish anything. You just have to stop that thing you're doing and go get it, right? So stop being busy-minded, right? We're busy-minded if we're dealing with inattentional whatever it is, inattentional blindness, right?
Yeah, I was about to have to look it up again. I'm glad you remember.
I love how shiny my forehead is. And so I'm either got the shadow or a shiny forehead. But yeah, man, the takeaway of this session, and I really love this because it's striking a chord with me, and it's something that I can take into the day today, is just stop. Put that stop sign in front of your face, right? Stop. Slow down. Now I'm reminded of Simon and Garfunkel. Slow down. You move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just, that one. Remember that song? Looking for fun and feeling groovy.
Oh, yeah. I feel like, yeah, sorry. I was reading more about inattention.
Man, we're
fascinating. All these studies and everything.
It is fascinating, but it's so vital to pay attention to this because, man, you could lose that relationship that you wanted. You could lose that job, that business opportunity that you wanted. Man, there's so many things that you could miss. I mean, here's a great example. You got a soccer tournament to go to this weekend. I guarantee you, in the stands, there will be parents not watching that soccer game. They'll be on Facebook or Instagram on their phone.
Possibly.
Yeah. So there's so many distractions in the world. We just have to take our time. We just have to get silent. We just have to get I can't tell who it is because it says Facebook user. I need help on my brain. I do too. That's why we're all here, baby. We're here supporting each other, helping each other. But Angela Beller says, I put a bracelet on my wrist and I decided I wouldn't say I'm busy for 21 days. If I said it, I moved the bracelet to the other wrist and the 21 days started over. That's a good challenge right there. It's kind of like a cuss jar.
It's the busy wrist, wrist challenge. I don't know, we got to come up with a better name than that.
Well, I mean, I had no idea the parable about the drowning man was called two boats and a helicopter. That's pretty cool.
No, it's like it's got an official name. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it does. All right, man. So how can we get away from this and blindness? How can we do this? How can we just, man, be more attentive, pay more attention to our family, pay more attention to our business, and not get bogged down in the minutia, the minor details that really don't matter, especially in our relationships with our partners and spouses, right? We
yeah.
get
I
down.
think it's just freeing up your mind and being able to focus, a conscious effort, putting a conscious effort towards that thing, right? That thing, whatever it is. Like you say, somebody may say, I need a new career, right? Or never mind. That's not a good example because it's not what I was about to say is not inattentional blindness, but it's some of the same stuff, which is sometimes things are right in front. Hey, you think you need to go to a new company, or you think you need to do this, that, and the other. Well, maybe you haven't been promoted, maybe you haven't done this, maybe someone got jumped over you for a promotion and stuff like that. That's right in front of you. The things that are happening. Like I got fired from a job a few years ago. Like I guess it's been like 5 or 6 years now. I mean, I think I had inattentional blindness for a few months there when like it's very obvious what was going on, right? But sometimes it's what you're wishing, what you're feeling, what you think is going to happen, what you want to happen, all of these things, they all add up and they all build up. A lot of times it's just right in front of you.
I'm
The
going to drop
very
another bomb on you.
things.
You're in that position, you're in that job, you're in that relationship that's not going well. You're doing that thing. Guess what? Don't forget that place where you are. That was that thing you used to pray about that God delivered to you, right? And then all of a sudden you're taking it for granted. So, it could be that could be a symptom of inattentional blindness. I don't know. But a lot of times we're in a situation that we desire previously, and now we're not happy with it. We want something more. We want something else, right? I believe that's why a lot of relationships fail and divorces at a high rate. It's like, oh, we're just going to trade this one in for another, right? That thing, that place you're unhappy in was something that you were praying for before that was going to be the solution. And now there's another solution. Now there's something else. And we're going on a different topic here, but it's be grateful for what you have and where you are right now. That I help people out of situations in, getting, selling their houses, getting out from under something. And I went to a property the other day and I was just floored at how the house had degraded, right? And I was like, I'm so grateful for where I am. I'm so grateful. We're worried about certain things financially or emotionally or something like that, but somebody else has so much less than us. So it's perspective, it's gratitude, right? Terrence says sometimes it's not our environment, it's our attitude and posture in those environments. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Boom. I was blown away, man. So we have to stop and, like Angela says, slow down, pay attention, be grateful for where we are right now. And if you have a hard time calming your mind and being silent, go take a walk. Go take a walk by yourself. Listen to the birds. I know it's hard, isn't it, man?
It is.
Listen to the birds. The download will come. Pray about it. Man, if you pray about this thing and you get quiet, the answer will come. But then once you do that, once you pray about it, you got to pay attention because, man, you never know when God's going to drop that right in front of you and you just walk right past it.
Or you never know that it might be right in front of you already. And if you have inattentive blindness, which is true, it's called inattentive also. I read it. It's not just
Awesome.
intentional.
Come on.
It says rarely called inattentive blindness. So I can still use that. But if you have inattentive blindness, it may already be right in front of you anyway.
Well, it is in front of you. You just have to reach out and grab it. Reach out for the gold ring down inside, baby. life may be sweeter for this. I don't know. Let's see how it feels in the end, right?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, this has been a great session. Man, so many people are on here. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, for listening on the hashtag replay. Collin and I are going to be back on Wednesday with another sensational session of Strike a Chord Live podcast. We do want to say happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. Man, we can't do it without you. Bruce says, word today is rings. Let's see what he says. He says, dang the connection. What's the word, Bruce? Drop it in. We got to have the acrostic before we go, man. He says rings, R-I-N-G-S. Hey, thanks for the compliment of the killer show. And, man, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And we'll see you soon. You got any other things before we go, bro?
We're good. Good.
I will say real quick before we go, please like and follow us on YouTube. youtube.com/@StrikeAChord Podcast. We sure would appreciate the follow. We love you guys. We will see you soon. Let's see if, okay, Bruce has got it. Rings, circle and sound, round and resonating in touch and in tune, naturally link in harmonic, go together sight and sound, stay solid and sustaining. Good grief, Bruce is pontificating today.
Pontificating.
I love Bruce Fulmer. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We will see you next time on Strike a Chord Live Podcast. Peace and chicken grease. We love you.